Hi, welcome to the Tenrec step-by-step drawing lesson. This is the second lesson in our Madagascar themed art box this month. Last week was the Panther Chameleon. This week is the Tenrec, the cousin to the Hedgehog. So here's what you can expect from the first part of this lesson. I'm about to show you a super fast version of drawing the Tenrec. Don't worry, you don't have to keep up with this part. I like to see a drawing from start to finish before I even start my first step. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this part of the video, and then after that we'll take you through a slower step-by-step version of how to draw the Tenrec. Let's move on to the slower portion of our lesson and take the Tenrec in tiny, small pieces, like we're taking a puzzle apart and putting it back together. I'll show you about 3 steps at a time. After the 3 steps, you're going to see a picture of the Tenrec come up. The Tenrec's going to be on your screen for about 15 seconds. It'll give you time to catch up with the 3 steps. If you need more time, this is a perfect time to pause the video. Are you ready to get started? Let's start with the first steps. So let's start with 2 dots for the top of the head. Think about all the room you need for the body, for the head, for the ears. If you make them too close together, there's not going to be much of a Tenrec. You're mostly going to have background. So look at the width. Take everything into account, the size of the head, the size of the body, and how much background you want. Go ahead and connect those 2 together. It's almost a flat line. It has a little bit of an arch to it. So let's make the sides of the face. When we come down, we want to make sure we leave room lower than that for the chest and the paws. When these lines come down, let's think of them as hands of a clock. This one coming down pointing at, say, 5. This one coming down pointing to, say, 7. Let's connect them together with a line, but is this a flat line or does it have a little bit of a curve to it? I would say it has somewhat of a curve to it, almost like a smiley face. So that was about 3 steps. This is the 15-second pause that I was telling you about. This gives you a chance to catch up. If you need more time, pause the video here, and when you're ready, start it again, and we will continue on with 3 more steps. So let's make the eyes now of the Tenrec. If you notice, the eyes are not super close together, but they're not super far apart either. I'm going to find the center of my face and move out a little bit. There's one eye. Move over and make another circle. There's a little shiny spot in the eye, and I'm giving it kind of a crescent moon shape. I'll leave that empty when I color in. Now for the nose, we're not going to start between the eyes. We're moving a little bit lower, about halfway between the bottom of the face and the eyes. Let's draw a straight line going up. And do you see how it arches back down like a really tall rainbow? So I left some room between the eye and the nose. Let's go back down to the bottom of the nose. What kind of line do I connect it with? At the bottom, take a look at your reference. Connect it with a rainbow line. This is kind of a snug fit here, but if you want to draw a straight line across right under your rainbow, then angle in on both sides and connect. Let's color that in. Did you notice there's a straight line here from the nose all the way down to the bottom of the face? Line's going to look like we're giving him a smile. We're going to start at the side of that number 1. We're going to curve out and up to the nose on each side. Now remember the lines we left room for? We're going to touch the bottom of the face, we're going to curve up, and it points toward the nose. Let's make our way on up over the top of the nose. Give yourself a dot, go up, 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 and touch your dot. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Touch the bottom of the face, tuck in, come up, up, up to your dot. I think this might be the trickiest part of the entire lesson. You want to start at the very top of those lines you just made. You're going to come over and you're going to touch the eye, but you're going to scoop around the inside of the eye and come out just past it a little. Do you see how I went out past the eye? Scoop up, down, tuck around the eye, and scoop out. Now when we come down to the bottom of the face, we're going to actually do this in 2 parts. We're going to arch out and down first. See, I scooped back in, then I came straight down. I'm scooping out and tuck it in, then go straight down. As you can see, it's hard to make both sides look exactly the same. So there's some decorations on the top of the head between those little curvy lines that we made from the nose to the eyes. Find that on your reference page and then start in that spot on your drawing, about here, and angle up and out like the letter V. Go ahead and copycat those. I'm going to have 2, 1 on each side. Now there's some more decorations between those lines. You're going to go up and back down like a mountain. And then let's make another decoration here. We're going to go down, and then at the middle of that, angle back up. So let's make the ears now. Instead of the ears going up or out, they're actually angling, say toward 2 o'clock, tuck back in, 10 o'clock, and tuck back in. Now we're going to make the fur that's on the inside of the ears. Along the bottom edge, you're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down 3 times. Look how I made the middle one the tallest one. There's a curved line wrapping around his entire head from one side to the other, not along the bottom. So we're going to start on the left side, and we're going to end on the right here. From that point, we're going to go up, and we're going to run into the side of the ear. Make sure you hop over, connect it to the other ear, hop over again, and come down to the widest point of his face and connect. Now you can see under the head there's some patches of fur. We're going to do this in 2 chunks, actually 3. From the right side, you're going to come down and jagged line up, down, up, down, up, down. But I'm not quite going all the way across. You see how I'm going to start on the left, jagged, 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 touch. I left a little space in the middle. Let's connect both of those together. Go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, connect. Let's make the fur that's at the top of the legs. It's just an arch line like a smiley face. Touch the middle section, curve, curve, and connect. The two legs that we see are the front two legs. We're going to come down twice for each leg, and as you see, they come down and they flare out a little. Down and flare out away from each other. That's one leg. The other side comes down and flares out. As you can see, it touches those smiley face lines that we made. We're going to connect these together with the toes. We're going to curve down and up. We're going to come down again for the middle toe. We'll come down a third time and connect. The other foot, the same thing, down and up, down and up, down and up, and touch. At each point where you went up, go straight up, draw a line going into the foot. You'll end up with two on each leg. Draw a little line going across to create toenails. Let's make the body now. It's wider than the head, maybe by about 1.5 heads. So I'm going to give myself a dot. I'm going to start at the top, go out, 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 down, 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 and I'm going to tuck in. Do you see how I'm even with the feet? And I tuck in to the spikes. Here's the tummy. Draw vertical, standing up lines. They have a little curve to them. Let's connect the 2 feet together about even with the tummy. Inside there, let's make laying down flat lines going across. You'll have to jump over the fur. Now we're getting to the decorative part. We have mostly the body. Let's make the spine or the quills that are poking up on his back. You're going to follow that entire body line that you made from the top of the head all the way around. You're coming down the back. Every time you come in, you're going to touch. So you want to take your time. You don't want to draw a line that's super fast and jagged. It'll look messy. It's harder to color them in that way too. So keep making your quills all the way around the body until you get tucked in underneath, until you get all the way around to the tummy. Let's make the quills on the inside of the body now. Looks like a lightning line, a jagged line. I'm going to double this from the face all the way across and touch. We'll make these in different stages. So at the top of the one we just made, you want to do this jagged line going up, up, up. Let's double and triple this one. Off the center of the triple line, draw a jagged line going off to the side, touching the body. I'm going to do that 2 times. Let's make a patch of 3 jagged lines coming off the 2 we just made. Jagged line up and to the right, 1, 2, and 3 times. We're just going to continue to fill up the body with these jagged lines to make the quills. So you can see I'm connecting across, and I'm going to triple that. So I'm about halfway there. I've made about half the quills on the body. Let's touch the center of the last section we made, and we're going to go up, up, up with a jagged line. Keep going up until you fill in this whole back section. Do you notice how it's touching the back? From there, we're going to go from the top of those over to the left. Keep going until you touch the head. 1, 2, and let's make a third row. These don't have to be exactly like mine. You see though how they're just connecting from one side to the other. I started at the ear here and I did a jagged line going from the ear all the way over until I connected with some other quills. I have a little bit of room in here to make a fourth one. Do you notice how there's some from the top of the body down to the head? It's a little tight spot, but we can fit a few in there. Going back to the head, the space around the head, let's add some quills there. These simply look like little mountains along the original line that we made for the face. Do you see I'm going up, down, and every time I go down, I touch. Those little details are really important. When you come down, touch. Every time you come down, touch. If you have a little more room, go ahead and add more mountains in between those. They look like mountains, but they're really the quills, right? Now our Tenrec is complete. We just need to fill in the background, and I made my background with lots of leaves. So we're going to start in this bottom right corner, make an arch. All of that is a leaf. Make a line diagonal through it. That's a vein through the middle of the leaf. Slide, slide, slide. Let's make another leaf going up and come back off to the side. See how big these are? Draw a line through the middle, make the veins off to the sides, 1, 2 over here, 1, 2. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. I would make these leaves pretty big though. When you run into the Tenrec, instead of squeezing in a tiny little leaf, pretend like you're going behind him and come back and make the bottom. There's the vein. There are veins coming off the middle on each side. We're just going to continue to fill up the entire paper. My first one, I'm going to arch over and down off the bottom, draw a vein, more veins coming off the middle vein. And then we're just going to continue to add more leaves. Yours may go in different directions. I would just emphasize that don't make the leaves too tiny. Keep them big and pretend like you're drawing behind the Tenrec. Do you see how I don't see the point of this leaf. It looks like it's behind him. I'm going to draw some up off the top right side. I'm going up off the paper. I'm going to pretend like I'm coming in and back up to the top for the middle. Here's the line for the veins. You see how the veins flare off to each side. Let's just keep doing that until you fill in all of the gaps in the background. A lot like the references we saw earlier, the Tenrec is often in leaves. They're nesting in the leaves. They hibernate. There's your Tenrec. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you next week for the third lesson in our Madagascar theme, the comet moth.